right, so sorry for that. There's some technical issues here and there, but we're working on it to make sure that you get the sound quality that supposed to come out. So now, as we had said, this for those who are just joining us, we have a warrior here who's been battling like 3 autoimmune conditions that led to lupus again. For those who are just tuning in, maybe you're asking yourself what lupus really is. Maybe you're asking yourself what lupus really is. Lupus is an autoimmune condition whereby your body immune system becomes hyperactive and it attacks your normal tissues. By attacking your normal tissues, you see, in real sense, your immune system is supposed to actually, like, literally guard you from, or rather protect you from bacteria and viruses and all that. But now when it comes to lupus, you find lupus attacks your body. It fights you instead of fighting for you, you know. So basically, lupus, you find in the process, it attacks your organs, it attacks your liver, it attacks your kidneys, it attacks your blood, it attacks like all manner of things as far as your body and your internal organs is concerned. So right about now, without wasting so much time, we'll go straight to the order of the day. And yes, we have Elsie here. She's been battling lupus since last year, right? Since last year, and it has been crazy for her. It has been crazy for her. So think about having dreams that you want to accomplish. Think about having ambitions that you want to accomplish when you grow up, or maybe when that time comes. But it reaches a time, or rather it reaches a day, and you just can't be able to do all this. Like, everything comes to a standstill, you know. And when everything comes to a standstill, you cannot be able to function normally. You cannot be able to do the things that you were doing before. You cannot be able to do some of these things. And these are just some of the challenges that comes with autoimmune disease, leave alone lupus. So welcome to the L factor with SCLAD. The L standing for lupus, because this is the main thing that we'll be talking about. So Elsie, what's up?
Hi.
You good?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, good. So thank you so much actually for giving us this time, for sparing time to talk to us and maybe to enlighten people on what you've been going through and how the journey is and how it has been. So maybe tell us how has living with this condition affected you, either socially, physically, emotionally. Basically, I mean, generally, how has this living a life with an autoimmune disease, how has it affected you? And
Honestly,
maybe be audible.
it's something I really hate.
Yeah.
I'll say I'm still undergoing therapy. I fell into depression because it's very hard accepting the conditions, because the conditions are autoimmune. They don't have a cause, rather they don't have medication. So that could eat me up, like, why does it have to be Elsie? Why does it have to be me every time? And sometimes I used to tell myself, oh, maybe God has abandoned me, you know, those thoughts. That anyway, it's very normal for someone to feel like that. I could not pray. I used to say, I can't pray because the same God I want to pray to is the same God that has abandoned me. I used to tell myself, I do biomedical engineering as a course. That is what I do. Okay. So I used to tell myself, I think I'm doing something wrong. I'm in the wrong profession because the course is technical and I have a very bad spinal cord, the ankylosing spondylitis. So mentally, I say it's
what?
Ankylosing spondylitis.
So what is, for those maybe who don't know what it's all about, what does it entail, that condition?
Ankylosing spondylitis, it's an inflammatory of the spine. So the discs of the spinal cord fused together. It affects the spinal cord and the pelvic bones. if not managed well, it can lead to Bowel syndrome. It is very bad because spinal cord is the coordination of everything. So you can imagine at an early age of 19 or 20, you have a bad spinal cord. So I used to ask my doctor every time, does it mean in future I'll not be able to have a child of my own? Because we are talking about the spinal cord and the pelvic bones. I had so many questions, but he told me once the condition is managed, it is good. It is fine. You can have a baby of your own. The only problem that comes with ankylosing spondylitis, it is very expensive, because I receive an infliximab. This is the medication used for ankylosing spondylitis. The dose is very expensive, every 6 weeks. The last time I was hospitalized, the insurance didn't cover up for my medication, and the bill was 569,000. You can imagine.
Okay, now let me get this straight. So the bill was 569,000. So this is for the infusion only, or including the admission?
For the infusion, it was 205,000. The infliximab.
Okay.
Or rather call it Remicade or infliximab. It was 205,000. So too bad. I felt sick when I went for the medication. So they were supposed to deal with other conditions first before they administer the Remicade. Because when you have any other thing that comes up, you can't be administered that Remicade because it will blow up the other infections.
Sure. So okay, so this infliximab infusion, you say that you're supposed to take it after every 6 weeks?
Yeah, after every 6 weeks.
That might be quite costly.
It's very costly. I'm supposed to receive another dose on 13th of next month. Okay. Honestly, I don't have an insurance right now. I exhausted my mother's insurance. So I don't know how I'm going to get the other infusion, because it is very important to me. I really need that something, because it reduces the rate at which my spinal discs fuse together. So the dose is very important. I don't know how I'm going to get it. Okay. Next time.
Okay.
Yeah. It is ankylosing is very expensive. I cannot compare to some other conditions I have, the hyperprolactinemia, the fibromyalgia, the lupus itself. Ankylosing is very expensive. I cannot wish this on someone else. It is very expensive. The medications I take, apart from the infusion itself, it is very expensive, and I'm supposed to take them because I can't miss to take them because of the pain, and they are also reducing the rate at which my spinal cord fuse together.
Okay. Wow, that's quite a story. So you can imagine, like you have a problem with your spine, and as you all are aware, like the spine is the key thing in your body, like once the spine is once its function has been disrupted, or once it has been damaged, then it's like you're half dead or you're walking dead or something, but Elsie, so tell me, or rather tell the guys who are listening to us here, what did you want to be? Had you ever in your life, had you ever thought of, or rather had it ever crossed your mind that you'll one day be battling a chronic disease?
I'd say yes, because ever since I was born, let me say, ever since I know myself, ever since I know this Elsie, hey, I've been always taking medications. Every time I'm in and off of the hospital, only that we didn't know what was the cause of my illness all this time until last year. So I expected that, only that I didn't expect to have a condition. I didn't expect to take medications the entire of my life. I didn't expect that. But being sick, let me say I'm used to this. I'm used to the pain, only that the pain is too much. And I hate the pain, but I have to accept.
Okay. So now, thing is, you're doing engineering right now. How does lupus affect, has it affected your studies? Has it made you, for example, maybe differ at times? Or has it ever crossed your mind that, you know what, this pain is too much and I cannot continue, I'm living like this, I'm going to let go some of the things in my life? Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, at times I tell myself, I'm always complaining about school. I'm always saying I hate school because I like, at times I think and tell myself, so what if I work so hard doing this engineering thing, doing the calculations, the calculus, then I die before my graduation day. That is what I tell myself. You know, it's very bad. So at times I'm telling myself, Elsie, don't go to school, Elsie, but I have to. Like at times, because I'm in and off of the hospital, I miss cuts. But something good, my twin sister and I are doing the same course. At times we think the same, I'll say that, so sometimes she'll sit the cuts for me and no one will notice that. She helps me so much.
Talking of your sister, you have a twin.
Yeah, right? I have a twin.
How did she take this? I mean, ever since the time that you got diagnosed, like now, okay, you have lupus now. How did it take you? How did she take it? Did she take it lightly, or she just take it like, okay, it's fine, you're gonna be okay and all that? How did she take it?
Oh no, I'd say I'm even better than her. She's stressed every time she thinks about the twin sister who's sick. She won't cry, but let me just say she's depressed about my sickness.
She's more depressed than you.
I have to be strong for her. Though I'm not supposed to be strong for her, but I have to. It's very hard to have someone you love, who's like, we are twins.
Sure.
Then you're like, why does it have to be her? Why? I wish I could help her carry some
load and all that. Yeah.
She says that is too much for me, but I can handle. I say God cannot give you something you cannot handle.
Exactly. Yeah. Sure. And now, you understand, most lupus warriors, some of them, or rather, if you're just joining us, you're talking to Elsie. Elsie has been battling lupus and some other condition of the spine as well. And it's been a bit rough for her. It has been so difficult. It has been so tough for her. But, I mean, look at her. Will you even say that she's sick or something? And that's something that many people get judged about, you know? Like, they just see you and, I mean, you look okay, you know?
Yeah. You know, I tell people I'm sick. Like, I have a condition I'm fighting. They're like, oh no, Elsie, you're not sick. Why are you lying to us?
Yeah.
You're not sick. You don't look sick. But I love that. I love that when they tell me you don't look sick.
Yeah.
Because it shows I'm strong.
Okay. So now, talking about how people view you generally, as far as your condition is concerned, as you understand, many lupus warriors, or rather people suffering from autoimmune conditions, some of them have been neglected. Some of them have been actually go through stigma. Like, there's a lot of stigmatization to those people who have autoimmune condition. How did your family take this? Maybe you can take us through, how did family take this? How did your friends take this? And basically just tell us how it was from the very first time you were told, like, you know what, this is lupus, it doesn't have a cure, you'll have to live with it, you'll be on medication for the rest of your life. And I can imagine the shock maybe on your face, like, what is lupus all about? You know, like, I've never heard of this. But how did these people take it? Did they embrace it? Did they just brush you off, or they just took you as you are and you're still walking the journey?
I'd say I think I have the best family.
Okay.
My mom, my elder sister Carol, Cindy, Bill, and Vivian. Those are my family. Carol is my firstborn, Cindy secondborn, Bill. I have the best family.
Okay.
Like, let me say, not only about lupus or the Ankylosing and Fibromyalgia thing or Hyperprolactinemia. From my childhood, not been sickly all through. They've been there with me every time. Baby, umeenda hospitali, usifanye hiyo, you know it's not good for your back. Like they are very good. With friends, I have good friends. I'd say few good friends. You know, I'd say some conditions or some situations, like God puts you, I'll not say that, but let me just say that God puts you in a condition to know who your real ones are. Although you're not supposed to do that, don't ever do that. That is me. So I have some of my friends, I'd say some of my friends, like I have a friend whose mother helped me to get drugs. She bought the drugs for me. Last year I was hospitalized from July, August until September 16th. From 13th of July. They used to come check me at the hospital. This one girl, like at that time I was at Adams Nairobi, so this girl stays at Prestige, so she could come daily to check on me, bring me fruits, do what, like, so I have good friends, I have best family, they embrace me. Though sometimes they tell me not to, like I should not want the disease.
Sure. Okay.
They help me. Apart from going to the psychologist or the psychiatrist for the counseling, they also do that for me at home.
Okay.
And also
because there's that mentality, that mental point of view whereby, I mean, you know, you have a chronic illness and you become so disturbed mentally, like I'm going to live with this condition for the rest of my life, and you just don't know what tomorrow holds, you know, like you had planned to do this and this, or rather to accomplish one thing at a time, but now these things comes in and it just shatters everything. So you find the only thing that that might keep you going is living a positive life, right? So some friends came in for you. What happens to those who are like, you know what, deal with your own issues?
Still okay. You know, you can't force someone to do something they don't want to do. With me, it's just fine. You want to stay. You want to go. It doesn't bother me. It's fine. That is your own decision. No, I cannot decide for you. If you want to go, just go. If you want to stay. That is what I say.
Okay.
So I can't put that in mind that so and so left because I'm sick or because of something. No, that is not a bother.
So now, just to divert a little bit, so there is the depression part of it that comes with autoimmune condition. So you'll find a lot of people even contemplate suicide, you know, like they just live and they end up concluding that they have nothing to live for, you know, like this is a condition that I have, I'll have to deal with it, I'll have to live with it for the rest of my life, so I have nothing to live for. Some maybe have taken an overdose of drugs, some, as I told you, some have been rejected, and some have, I mean, there's a lot of misconception out there. There's a lot of misinformation out there. And I'll give you a scenario. The other day, someone just came and said that they are suffering from this condition, and they're going through this and this and that. Now, because of the misinformation that people have out there, they ended up telling him that he's been cast, you know, which is a very, I mean, it's like adding salt to a wound, you know, like you're going through something and then someone starts coming up with their own conclusion and all that, like you've been cast, you've been, you should go for cleansing and all that. It's a bit disturbing, you know. So is lupus a curse?
It's not a curse. Like no one decides to be sick. You don't choose to be sick. This is a condition. It's an autoimmune condition. It has no cause. So you cannot blame someone for that. You cannot blame someone for having an autoimmune condition. Honestly, I don't know why I'm sick. You ask me, like, what did you do? I don't know. I just have autoimmune conditions. That is. So don't ever blame someone for being sick.
And they should stop all this misconception that maybe you should find out what you did wrong and all that manner of conclusions, you know. So as you've heard, guys, you don't just go. I'll just echo the words that a certain warrior once said. You don't just buy a disease from the shop. You know, you just wake up early in the morning. I mean, one day and you find like you can't do anything. You know, you really try to understand this, but you just can't get to see where everything went wrong. You know, so you just learn to live with it. You learn to religiously take your medications and all that. You know.
Although at times I see those medications, I don't want to take them.
Yeah.
Sometimes I take an overdose because of the pain which I'm not supposed to take. Because sometimes you take the drugs, but they do not work. Yeah, they won't work. So you're supposed to take an overdose, and you're not supposed to take the overdose. Sometimes you know you don't want to take the drugs because you feel like I've been taking these things for so long, but I'm still battling the same thing.
Yeah.
So this is what I tell myself. I'll never blame anyone who says like someone who feels God has abandoned him or her, because I once felt like that. I used to say, I don't want to pray. I don't want anyone to tell me about God, because I used to say, I don't want to hear about that God, because why would I pray and this thing is still here with me? Like, it's not going anywhere. So, I can't blame anyone.
Yeah.
For those who decide suicide, honestly, I'm not blaming them. Because at times I tell myself I'd rather be dead instead of taking these things. You know, everyone has his or her own choice of why. You know, I can be so strong, but Miki is not strong. So when he decides suicide, it's because he can't take it anymore. But when I decide to fight, when I say I'll fight this, it's because I'm strong enough to do that. So don't ever blame someone for any choice he or she makes. Whether it's suicide, whether it's taking an overdose, or whether it's whatever he or she does. So everyone has his or her own reason for that.
Yeah. Okay. Now, it's a bit devastating actually, being in a position that Elsie is. And by the way, you guys, if you have some questions, you can just shoot them, and Elsie will gladly answer them. Yeah, and we'll be glad to just interact. Let's have an interactive session. If you have any question that you'd like answered or maybe clarified, kindly do, and she's here. It's better to hear from the source herself, you know. So, now Elsie, describe a worst day for you, like as far as your condition is concerned. Describe a worst day for you.
Let me say a worst day for me. You know, with ankylosing, I'll say mornings are the worst. Because of the stiffness. So sometimes the fatigue, the stiffness, you have to wake up, take medications, and you don't feel like waking up. You know, your back is very stiff because of the cold and it's morning. And maybe, let me say, it's school days, you have maybe a class at 8, so you have to wake up early. You know, I don't wake up. My twin sister wakes me up. Elsie, wake up. Amka will get in the class. So I hate that, because one, I hate school because of my conditions. So when I have to wake up, I don't feel like waking up. I'm fatigued. The back is very bad. You know, my biggest problem is the ankylosing thing. That is my big. You know, it's the spine you're talking about. So I'll describe that as my worst day.
Has it ever happened to you that you see the way you're seated here because of the ankylosing thing? Has it ever happened to you that you're not in a position to sit the way you are seated, and you just wake up in the morning and you try to make a move and it's crazy?
Last month, you know, my first dose of the infliximab, you know, to make it a dose, they are supposed to be 6. So my last dose was in January. So my doctor thought, my rheumatologist thought, with the first 6 doses, it will work on me. So he gave me a break. February, March, April, May. My back was very, very bad. We did an MRI for the spine, so the muscles were like they were intact. I couldn't move. I used to cry the whole night. I can't make a slight move in the bed. I can't sit like this. I used to sleep. But still that sleeping is still a problem because you can't move. You don't want to imagine the pain. Right now I'm better. Like the infliximab thing helped. I started another dose, so I'm supposed to go for another dose next month.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
he said he'll not give me another break. So it's continuous. I can imagine the burden.
Yeah.
Sometimes I tell myself, Elsie, you just abandoned. Like you were born a twin, and you came last. My two sister came first. You came last. You have all these misfortunes. I call them misfortunes, and you can't do anything about them. Like the last born, I call myself a bonus. Like I say, you are a bonus. You have all these misfortunes. Like you'd rather be dead. You're a burden because mostly last month when you were supposed to pay cash, that was the worst time in my life. Honestly. Like I'm admitted, I'm discharged. The bill is still there. We are supposed to pay cash. The more I stay there, like per day 6,500 bed charges. Okay, I tell God, because you allowed me to be in this situation, kindly just open a way on how my medication will be paid. I'm not supposed to go through this stress. I'm not supposed to think about how I'm going to get my another infusion and think about getting well.
Sure.
They won't work.
Yeah. Well, okay. So now, tell me something. In your walk of life, like every time you wake up in the morning and you have planned to do something the following day, and you wake up in the morning and you just can't make a move, and you just can't do anything, and you just can't. You had planned to do this is what I'm going to do tomorrow. Is it abnormal that you can just feel free? You can just straighten or just easy. Yeah. So has it ever happened that you cancel all your plans that you had planned to do?
Yeah, I do that.
It happens.
It happens.
So it's not abnormal.
It's not abnormal because when I wake up fatigued, I will not do anything.
Okay.
Sometimes I will not even
just
go
get
to school.
Yeah.
Sometimes I want to go to school for my classes. So when I wake up fatigued, I just sleep. Yeah, I can't force myself to do something because I know I can't. Like if I can't, I can't. So I can't force myself to do something.
Yeah. And how does your friends take it? I mean, we've planned, like, you know what, Elsie? Tomorrow we are going down. I mean, you have this plan, you have this plot that has just come. We're going for an outing, or we're going to just have fun somewhere. And you're like, okay, I'm game. But now it reaches the morning and you just can't do anything.
Like
how do they take it? Like, do they take it like Elsie is just a snub? Elsie is just pretending and all that. How are they taking it?
No, I have good friends. Something funny, my twin sister and I share most of the friends.
Okay.
So I'd say, like, right now in school, now we have a group of 9, like we are 3 girls and 6 boys. So mostly we are going for hiking or whatever, but in those plans, I come number 1. They'll be like, will Elsie be okay with this? Will she be able, like, they have to consider when are you going for your clinics, when are you going for your medications, so that when we plan, we don't clash with them. I have good friends. They consider me in everything. I come first before we plan anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it must be very
good. Mostly when I'm in school and I want to go for checkups, like they know the days I go for physiotherapy, the days I go to see my rheumatologist or my psychiatrist. Like, you see, Elsie, I'm going with you. Elsie, you want to go with you? So I tell them, let me go with this one today and go with another one tomorrow. I have good friends.
Yeah. Okay.
They support me.
Okay. That's so amazing, right?
Yeah.
Like having a good support system. I always say, or rather, I always tell the warriors, you'll find, okay, having a good support system It's even better, as much as the drugs are important, as much as the medication are important. But if you just have a good support system, people who will be there for you, people who are going to stand by you no matter what, no matter what, they're just there for you. They'll hold your hand. If you fall, in case you trip, they just hold you up before you even get to the ground and all that. You'll find that that's a better remedy compared to the medication. No, as much as medication is so important, but
also important.
Yes, exactly. Like having this support system, it also helps you to heal mentally, psychologically. You're just okay. You're at peace, because I understand like stress is the worst enemy.
Yeah, once I'm stressed, I have so many flare-ups.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to undergo any stress.
Yeah.
But most of the time,
yeah,
when I'm always stressed about my medication. So utapata dawa zangu za kumeza zinaisha. Ka stress kananichapa najiongelesha sasa Elsie pesa tuna zinatoka wapi za kununua dawa, something like that. Yeah, because with the insurance they'll not cater for all medications. The expensive medications you'll have to get them on your own.
Now talking of the medication part of it, like it reaches a time that you're a bit disturbed because you don't know where you're going to get your medication. I know maybe you use the insurance to get your medication, but what's the cost of, let's say roughly, how much do you spend like in a month for medication? And before maybe you go to that, there's someone who is asking here. Do you take, since you have several autoimmune conditions, do you take the same medication for all, or do you have to take something different for each?
I take different medications for each.
Okay.
Yeah, because with the Ankylosing I'll deal with it, the Lupus thing,
okay,
the Hyperprolactinemia, the Fibromyalgia and Lupus, and Ankylosing. The medications are almost the same, slightly same.
Okay.
I also take antidepressants, by the way. I still undergo my therapy. So like yesterday I was with my therapist and I was telling him, he was asking about my drugs. So I told him, I think they are remaining for 2 to 4 days. And he told me, I know zikisha uende kuchukua zingine. So the next time you're coming, I don't want to see you after 2 weeks. I want to see you after 4 days. So I'm supposed to go see him back on Friday because anajua sitachukua dawa. So he wants me to go with my family. Ndio awambie how important the antidepressants are.
Okay.
I take different medications for everything.
For everything. And how much does it cost you for, like, let's say for example, lupus related medication? How much does it, how many medicines do you use for lupus? 2. Yeah. And how much?
Ankylosing, okay. Hey, nimebeba dawa zote. Niko na dawa zote. Dawa zote, that is my main problem. Dawa zote ni Ankylosing. 3/4 hizo dawa ni Ankylosing. Fibromyalgia kidogo. Mostly fibromyalgia, they are painkillers. So maybe I'll have tramadol for Ankylosing, or Gabanav, or Gabanav, or pregabalin, Lyrica for the pain. With the antidepressants, I take 3 medications. Hyperprolactinemia, I have 3. Like roughly mumeza dawa karibu 14 kwa siku ni mingi.
14.
But nimeza, I'm that person, siwezi nimeza dawa moja. Like I can't remember the last time nilikuwa hosi, there's this mom, like she only had 4 medicines, but she could, and me I had 14, so they give me zote. So she's like, see how, nikimeza moja nitatapika. So when I rebuke the medications, I tell myself, Elsie, you've wasted, this is cash you wasted. That is what I tell myself. Like my medications, I refer to them as, like those are shillings, it's only pesa. So I'm not supposed to waste a single tablet. So usimeza. Although at times, there's a time I used to flush them in the toilet. I was so depressed.
You just tired of taking.
I used to talk to myself. Depression.
It's real, huh?
Depression is real. Depression is real. Hey, but I'm good.
What's the worst? Okay, in your depressed moment, what's the worst thing that you've ever thought about like, you know what, like that was your very lowest moment, and you were like, you know what, this is what I'm doing. Whatever comes, comes. What is the worst that you've ever thought
The
of
worst that
in
I
your
have
depressed?
thought when I'm depressed is suicide.
Okay.
Yeah. I used to tell myself, Elsie, you'd rather be dead because you just abandoned. Why will you go through this? Like, ever since childhood, you've never been a happy girl, like a happy girl with no sickness. That is what I'm trying to say. Like, every time you're taking medications. You know, kuna time mimi, hadi mom used to give me the amoxicillin thing. Ananipea powder. And I mean, because the capsule is not working, just take this powder. And I will take it. Because when you see how depressed she is because you're sick, you just do that for her. Until now, I don't take penicillins, by the way. I think nilizimeza sana nikalamba hizo powder mpaka mwili ka resist. So I don't take penicillins. I'm allergic to them.
Yeah. So suicide has been the most, the worst that you've ever thought.
Like, I tell myself I'd rather be dead because this is too much. It doesn't have to be else anyway. Then the problem is, I used to, you have a twin. Take it, maybe it's you have a twin who's very healthy. You've schooled together, by the way, we went to the same high school, we were bedmates, had the same grade difference of 1 point. We are doing the same course. So you've been together with this twin sister of yours, but apparently you're the only person that is sick. Like, every time it's Elsie. Like, I'll say when we are in, like, we schooled in Busia, in Nangina girls. So this time, when my matiti used to fura, by the way, it was so worse. They used to show me a shirt after every 2 weeks because, hey, akisijaona matiti kubwa hivi acha niwaambie. Matiti zangu zilikuwa hivi. At a point wakafikiria niko na cancer. But I thank God, walipata shida ni hyperprolactinemia. I'll say when we were sitting for a KCSE, my principal used to come to class and I said, my French girl, I know you're not reading. Twende tu kwangu nani. Anamchukua ndani na teachers quarter kwake. Akiamka saa 4 usiku anafikiria Elsie is in pain. She'll take me to the hospital for a painkiller. Yeah. I think I've had a very rough journey. A very bad journey. Like, mujiambia nikikufa, God forbid, I'm not going to die anytime soon. I must grow old. Ile ilojitandikwa about Elsie, kwa kubwa. Because I don't know. Wherever I am, it's just God. Ni grace, like me, mujiambia, the grace is sufficient. Hata nikikosa dawa siku moja, God is there. The grace is still sufficient. That is the reason I'm still breathing. I just like the positivity in you. Like, you know what, this is I can't be able to handle this, but God does, you know. God does.
Like, it's beyond your control, and you just leave everything to God, you know. Like, there's that positivity and encouragement that you keep on telling yourself, you know. Like, Elsie, I know it's hard, but you have to do it.
I talk to myself.
Yeah, which is so important.
It is not good. I was told to not talk to myself with my therapist.
Why is that?
Like, he relates that to depression.
Okay.
Yeah, so anytime, like, my sister also does that. Nikijiongelesha ananiambia nini nakusumbua. But sometimes I love doing that. Nikiambia Elsie, by the way, no, this is not right, this is good. Like, you just have to push. You'll have to fight all this. Like, siku moja, like, your testimony is coming. You're making your testimony. It will be good. So that is like how I encourage myself.
Okay.
By the way, I have is it called uveitis of the eyes because of the ankylosing. You know, it also affects the eyes.
Okay.
So I also have bad eyes. Nimechoka na specs to zinabu.
Okay, now someone who is asking here. Okay, you had mentioned that you have a twin. is she healthy, or she also has her own health challenges?
Hey, she's very healthy. The last time she was sick, we were in Form 1, that is 2014. And she only had malaria, by the way. She's very healthy.
Yeah.
But something funny, when she gets a flu, hey, she'll sleep the whole time.
Yeah.
Like she's, let me say she's, should I say she's smooth, or like she cannot handle this.
Yeah.
That is how I tell myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I can't stand to see her sick. She'd rather be that healthy.
Yeah.
I'd rather carry the whole pain. Akuwe tu sawa. Yeah.
You must be so brave about it. There's a time, actually, I remember when I visited you in hospital, and you're like, there's a time you had exams, yeah, and that time you were so unwell, like it was crazy. And your sister did the exam for you, and
something funny. It was like
and they didn't
it was math, engineering math.
Okay.
So I'm supposed to sit for that paper. Of course, the paper is for 3 hours. I have an appointment with my rheumatologist.
Okay.
I'm not supposed to miss the appointment because I don't have drugs. I'm
Yeah.
supposed to go so that he prescribes different drugs and the tests to run.
True.
I sat for the exam 30 minutes, like nikiamka kila mtu alikuwa like kai Elsie. Though I texted the lecturer earlier and told him the exam was supposed to start at 8. Kamwambia teacher, I have a checkup tomorrow.
Yeah.
So do this. We'd rather start the paper at 7.
Yeah.
At least it will be convenient for me to attend for the clinic at 9. So he texted us in the group and we did that. But I sat for the paper for exactly 30 minutes. I mean, like, I was sure with what I'm doing. I'm that person. I'll do whatever I know. Whatever I don't know, sawa, achaikai. So I did what I know, whatever I thought I think I'll score this, and left the class.
Yeah.
But of course I didn't fail.
Yeah.
I can't fail.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I have to try my best.
True.
Yeah. I cannot pay for a retake, and I'm supposed to buy drugs.
Yeah, true.
No, my drugs comes first.
Yeah, come to think of it, there's a time, or rather it reaches a time whereby warriors, or rather lupus warriors, have to debate between buying medication, taking their next meal, paying rent, paying fees, and doing, just their personal needs, the individual needs. Like, they just have to debate, like, should I do this? Should I go to see my doctor? And you find that some of them even skip their appointments, not because that they're just ignoring or something, but they just can't afford it, like it's quite crazy. It's quite exhausting, like these conditions really exhaust your finances, like I tend to find seeing a rheumatologist, you have to pay a consultation fee of how?
And the consultation fee is 4,000 for a rheumatologist.
4,000.
And for my psychiatrist, it's 5,000. So you can imagine, yesterday I had 2 clinics. I went to see my rheuma and my psychiatrist. Those are 9,000. Plus the fare, that is 10,000 in a day. Gone.
Yeah.
Just because you have to do it.
And you have.
And you still have to buy medications. You still have to buy food, to pay rent. It's very exhausting.
True.
You cannot spend 10,000 a day.
Yeah, sure.
Yesterday,
but it just forces you to, like you have no other option. Just
and then you're not supposed to miss that. But something good with my rheumatologist, I go tell him, by the way, I'll not be able to pay. Maybe he'll tell me, just pay 1,000 instead of the 4,000. Or maybe you'll pay me the next visit. At least we have that connection, doctor-patient.
Yeah, sure.
So he understands, right?
It's very important.
It's very important. He understands at times.
Okay.
Other times he'll tell you, no, else you just have to pay. But I still understand.
So it's finances are one of the major challenges
my biggest problem
that lupus warriors go through, right? Because there's a cost that comes with it.
Yeah, you have to pay consultations, buy medications, pay rent, buy food. Yeah, it's very expensive.
Yeah. And then I'm meant to understand, insurance companies don't cover for pre-existing conditions.
Yeah.
So you find that becomes even more devastating, because say you've been admitted in hospital and because of a certain condition, the condition that you have, let's say for lupus, right? So you've been in hospital, they are managing what you're going through and all that. Then 2 weeks down the line, or maybe let's say a month, depending on how severe your condition was, a month down the line, the bill comes, it's 1 million. Yeah, you go to the insurance company, the same insurance that approved your admission, and boom, they're declining to pay. You know, how devastating is that?
It has happened twice.
Yeah.
This year, last month, and last year. That is last year, July. No, so I told you I was admitted July, August, September.
Yeah.
On my 5th day of admission, I think it was on 16th or on 17th. I'm good at dates, by the way. So, mom called me. Sasa, the insurance on Mesema, they'll only pay, I don't know, 150 something thousand. And that is my 4th day. I was supposed to go to theater for a colonoscopy and an endoscopy. I was supposed to undergo an MRI for the brain, MRI for the spine, MRI for abdomen. So many MRIs, by the way. But it said it won't pay. But so we had another choice. So we used another insurance for the meantime. But this year we had no any other choice. We were just supposed to pay cash. It is very devastating, by the way. As a patient, you are detained. Like, there's nothing bad like being detained in an hospital, my friend. Don't ever wish for that. I used to cry. I don't want to see anyone. Something bad. Like, the last time I was admitted, I was in a general ward for, like, we are 3 people in a general ward. I was alone for good 3 days. Like, then I'm not admitted, I'm discharged.
People have been discharged, they leave you there.
Like, I had received, I think, my 5th class for orientation, new patients in. Like, my 6th, so I had seen 12 people in the same ward. And for these 3 days, I was alone. Not hospitalized, but I was detained because I wasn't able to pay the bill. I used to cry. Hey, Aki, finances, God should help us.
Sure.
There's nothing bad like having a pre-existing conditions and you can't pay your bills. It is very bad.
True.
God should see us through.
True. I'm talking of coming to that. So someone is asking here. Do you like have one dermatologist managing you, or do you have to consult different doctors for that?
I'd say I prefer my rheumatologist. Anytime he wants to refer me to someone, I'll say consult them, tell me. Although with the hyperprolactinemia, I see an endocrinologist. I was supposed to see her this week, but I didn't go because of the bills. I had seen my rheumatologist, that is 4,000, my psychiatrist 5,000. I can't go pay, like I can't pay some other 5,000 for consultation. I don't have that cash. But I prefer my rheumatologist. Like I say, I have the best rheumatologist. That is how I say it. Because like he's the person who got whatever has been eating me up all these years, so I prefer him.
Okay. Now, are you able to withstand physiotherapy with ankylosing spondylitis? Are you able to stand physiotherapy? It's
physiotherapists, like those people, like
it's crazy.
Hey.
Are they gentle, or they just come and
like they do their work? Whether you are in pain or you're not, they say we are helping you. Then you know it's the pain you're talking about. But they help with physiotherapy. It helps a lot. It helped me. It helps. I'm supposed to have physio twice a week, but you know,
twice a week, and that's what you're saying. You're paying 5,000 for that.
With the physiotherapy, it is 2,000.
Okay.
So that is 4,000 for physiotherapy. But
that is Kenya shillings or dollars?
Kenya shillings. So I can't, like, I don't go often. Because of that.
But you have to, I mean,
Like
you
I'm
have
supposed to go twice weekly.
Yes. Okay. So, there's someone here who's saying that she takes 22 tablets a day. Yeah, I think she's it's Anne, if I'm not wrong. She takes like 22 tablets a day, and as you're aware, she's quite a strong one.
Yeah,
You know,
she's
she has like, I think like 3 autoimmune diseases, 3 or 4. You know, and it's quite rough. Yeah. But she still gathers the courage to fight and all that. You know, and encourage herself, as we say. The best thing that you can ever do is encourage yourself. As much as you can, it's as much as maybe they might tend to say that you're depressed when you're talking to yourself. You just call yourself. I mean, just talk with that inside voice that easy. That what, just you can do this. You don't have to say it loudly. Like, you just wake up in the morning and like, you know what, Elsie, you can do this. It's hard, but you've come a long way actually, and I know it has been a rough patch rather, but we still continue to do that and all that, Yeah. So so as you've heard, guys, it's a journey. It's a journey that you really have to be brave and courageous to go through, because it's never a walk in the park, First of all, what would you like, like a parting shot? What would you like to tell someone out there like your age, someone who's been diagnosed with an autoimmune condition, and they're just thinking of just throwing in the towel, and they're like, I have nothing to live for, and they're like, you know what, this is how it is, and I'm not doing this anymore. What would you like to tell them?
Like I said, my roommate once told me, I was at his clinic and I was like, oh no, I'm tired.
You just be audible so that I can do
like, I'm tired with this life. Why does it have to be me? And this is what he asked me, Elsie, when you walk out of this room and you get knocked by a car, will we say you've died because of your autoimmune conditions? I said no. So this is what he told me. Having an autoimmune condition doesn't mean that is the end of your life. Yeah. You have to fight. Like, having that does, like, it's not your death sentence. Yeah. You have to fight and reach your goal. This is what I tell myself. Like, I want someday, I've never met someone with ankylosing spondylitis, but I would really wish to meet someone. I want to be that person. Maybe when my rheumatologist meets with another ankylosing patient, I want to be the referral. I want him to send that guy or that girl to me, and like, this girl fought, she was in the same shoe, whether it's lupus, ankylosing, or the whatever conditions. Yeah. In short, we have to fight. Sure. That's not our end. Like, it's not the end of our life. Yeah, we have to fight.
You have to fight.
We have to do this. We cannot give up. Like, why? Yeah. We can't we have to fight.
Okay.
Yeah. Me, I tell myself, Elsie, like, I can't just give up. Yeah. This is what I tell myself. My family cannot spend so much on me just to give up on the way. I have to do something. I have to fight, get somewhere and help them, because they've helped me through this. Yeah. Okay. And I really hope God helps me do that.
Yes, He will. Yes, He will.
They do so much for me.
Yeah. So what will you tell Mom if Mom is on Facebook and she's watching, or maybe your siblings are on Facebook and they're watching? What would you like to tell them?
I love them so much. Like, I love you people. I'm like, let me be like, I'm still that kabibi, I love you so much. No, Penda. I love you people. They're the best thing that happened to me, by the way. They are very supportive. Anytime I'm stressed, my brother, I really love my brother, but I have a brother. I don't have so many brothers. This is what he tells me, baby, like, we have to fight this. We'll come through this. We have to conquer this. So the reason I fight, by the way, it's because of my mom and my siblings. They do so much for me. I love them so much. That is the reason I fight. I love my mom so much. She knows that. Like, I love my mom. She's the reason I'm fighting. I love you, mom. I love my mom. And like when I start talking about my mom, actually I'm not finished. In short, that is the reason. That woman is the reason I live. When someone messes with her, actually he or she has messed with me. And when you do something wrong to my mother, trust me, I'm the worst person you can want to get into, like you can want to brush shoulders with. When it comes to my mom, I love that woman.
Yeah, that is so great. That is so amazing. How she took it upon herself to just support you, to
like,
hold your
the
hand.
hospitals I've worked with my mom in. Like there's a time, like Adia Mechoka, so someone has told her there's this dispensary that is the best. Can you imagine umetoka hosi kubwa unaenda clinic just because someone has told her that is the best hospital, just go. And because I want my baby to be fine, she took me there. I was given so many amoxils and ampiclox, and she could give me the powder because she was like, she knows it's not right, but when she sees the pain and she wants the medication to work, so she could do that. I love my mom. Oh, Mom, I love you.
That is so amazing, and it feels so nice to all those people who are taking care of their loved ones, all those people who are taking care of those people who have autoimmune diseases. And thank you so much for not giving up on them. Continue like encouraging them, continue being there for them, because I mean these guys need love, you know. These guys need support. These guys just need you to be there for them. Just be there for them, and that's all that matters, you know. I mean, it's part of the healing. It's part of the remedy that you give them, you know. So thank you so much for, I mean, to all those who are still battling this, those who are still fighting. And this actually, we'll be doing this quite often, and we'll be sharing a lot of stories, a lot of insights of what you need to know about autoimmune condition, lupus to be the major thing here. So about support groups, has any of these support groups be of any help to you?
Yeah, my lupus support group. I love you guys. Love you so much. More so, Miki. You're the best. Actually, you're the best supporter.
Thank God.
Like this guy, you see here, like he gives, like when he has something extra, he'll give out to the patients. He'll give out to us. He's the best. Miki nakupenda baba. You're the best. Actually, you're the best supporter. I've never seen someone wholeheartedly. You're the best. May God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So it's a wrap here. So but now maybe before even go offline, maybe I'll just read you some comments that people have said. There's Bertha is saying, Elsie, keep up the spirit. You're a major testimony. Waiting to happen. Yeah, you're a major testimony. Waiting to happen. What else? Yeah, are you able to withstand physiotherapy? Yes, she has already answered that. Let me just go back to the page and find out whether there are people who have commented anything. And yeah, so basically that's the whole idea about this live. And I'm just trying to go through the comments here and see. Yeah, someone is saying, there's our strong baby, we love you so much. That is Butasi or something. George is saying we'll be strong together. Anne is saying we are strong together. Yeah, Anne is saying we're taking 22 tablets. Victor is saying keep strong, God shall help you defeat this. You know, everything is going to be okay. And yeah, basically there's a lot of positive vibes here. And how does that make you feel? Like people have listened to your story, and they are coming up with all these positive comments. And
like,
how does that make you
feel? I love
feel?
Positive vibes. Yeah. This is what I tell some. Like if you come to me with anything negative, keep it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we're sorry.
I only love, like, I want encouragements. I want positive vibes.
Yeah.
You have anything negative, keep it yourself. So thank you guys. Thank you for the positive vibes. Thank you for the encouragements.
It helps a lot.
Thank you so much. Like, I feel good. Yeah.
Okay. So Elsie is so grateful for the, you see, this is all they need, the positivity, you know, the encouragement and all that. Be there for them if you can. Work with them if you can. But I'll just give you a short research that we did about autoimmune condition, so that you can see at least the cost that comes with this whole disease and conditions and all that. It's quite costly, and most of the warriors end up skipping medication, skipping their appointments because they just can't afford it. Most of the warriors have lost their only source of income just because they get misunderstood, you know, like this condition mostly affects the inner part of your body, you know. On the outside, you look so much okay, so bubbly, you know, you're glowing, you're all smiling, and the craziest part of it is you just have to, it's like you're hiding what you're feeling inside, you know. Like on the outside you just have to smile, but deep inside you're fighting, you're hurting and all that. But you just have to smile for yourself, you know. And I guess that's where people get confused, get it all wrong. Like, I mean, I was with Elsie, like 5 minutes ago, and the next minute she's sick, you know. It happens, you know. You're sick, you can't even be able to lift, even not even your phone, even a spoon. It happens, right? Yeah, it happens. So you find these are some of the conclusions, or some of the misunderstandings that people have. You know, autoimmune condition is there. Autoimmune conditions affect people differently. Yeah. You know, like not two cases are the same. The way my condition will affect is not the same way yours will affect you, because there are some who are affected by the kidneys. There are some who get affected. Their lungs get affected, and so on and so forth. You see, so it becomes a bit crazy, and you find most of these people have been laid off from their workplaces because they cannot be able to perform, or rather to deliver the same the way they used to do. You know, and this has been quite devastating. So you find if this person has been laid off, right? If this person has lost their only source of income, they cannot be able to afford their medication. They cannot buy their medication anymore. They cannot be able to go to to see their doctors anymore. Their families have turned their backs on them. Yeah, you know, that's true. Which is the saddest part of it.
If not turning their backs against them, I think they're just tired. Not really let's say maybe the entire family, not exactly the small family for whatever. Yeah. So there's people also get tired of helping. So they'll not help. Yeah. They'll just like let her battle with whatever.
Sure. Which is quite crazy, you know.
Yeah, it's very bad.
So I'll give you maybe an outline of how from various warriors or various lupus warriors, the cost that comes with this. And you find, yes, there's no cure for an autoimmune disease, and the cost of managing the condition is extremely high. So there are rising incidences of people suffering from autoimmune disease, but are undiagnosed or misdiagnosed. Some patients suffer an overlap, and an overlap is whereby you have to see different doctors or specialists because of the different conditions that you have, you know. So you see different specialists depending now on the condition that you have. So in Kenya, for instance, the patients have to spend up to Kenya shillings 100,000 on medications to regulate the response of the immune system, because remember, this is something to do with the immune system, you know. So you have to manage it, you have to suppress it, you know, because it's already hyperactive, it's fighting you. And you'll find in the morning you wake up, you're so exhausted, you know, you cannot be able to do anything.
Like most of the time, at first, you know, I used to tell Vivian, maybe you're going to school.
Yeah.
Akivi nimechoka. She's
Sure.
like, oh no, why? You've done nothing, but she
Yeah,
came
exactly.
to understand.
Yeah.
So I tell her, I'm tired.
Yeah.
We'll sit down there, two of us, until I get better. Then
And
we
go
are
back to
always late
Yeah.
to classes every
Yeah.
time because of my fatigue.
Exactly.
And she understands.
And it happens, you know.
Yeah, it happens.
So you've been fighting, like it's like you find like your immune system is like it's a coup now. It's a coup in your body. Instead of fighting for you, it's now fighting. It has taken over. It is fighting you, you know. So you wake up in the morning, you're so exhausted and you cannot be able to do anything. So 100,000 on medication to regulate response of the immune system. Now hear this. From 245,000 Kenya shillings to 350,000 for medications that prevent flare-ups. A flare is when the symptoms are so severe. If it's headache, if it's migraines, if it's joint pains, they are just crazy. It's painful. You can't even be able to lift your hands, you know. Like that's when you're flaring. When you hear someone saying they're flaring up, it's when things are so worse, you know. So spending that much on medication that prevents flare-ups. So from 70,000 for speech therapy, because lupus affects people differently. 70,000 for speech therapy, drugs to manage the slurring, because you find your speech becomes a bit sluggish in a way, you know. And yeah, so the patients also have to undergo numerous costly tests, such as regular MRIs, as you've had Elsie, and I went like a head MRI, I don't know how many MRIs.
I think I've had more than 10 MRIs.
Like all those MRIs, you know.
Just from last year, June till now, so many MRIs.
Yeah, it's quite crazy,
Yeah.
you know. So a patient may incur a cost ranging from 400,000 to 1 million Kenya shillings for treatment only, you know. Yet many insurance companies, as we had said, not cover for autoimmune conditions. Hence, it becomes a challenge to finance their treatment. Some are even torn between buying medication, diet, attending public functions, or seeing a doctor. Yeah. So you've had, those are some of the challenges that comes with it, the financial bit of it, and it's quite straining. It's quite straining, but what to do but just to live to see another positive day, you know. You just live to see to encourage yourself. You just leave it all to God, as you've said. You leave it all to God, and you encourage yourself. You keep on moving. If you're not okay, then you're not okay. You know, I don't think you owe anyone any explanation. If you're not okay, you're not okay. If they tend to decide or to decide otherwise, it's up to them. But you just have to be there for you. You know, you have to encourage yourself. You have to make yourself happy. You have to do all that you've got to be okay. Because, you know, at the end of the day, you cannot live to impress someone else, yet deep inside, you're hurting. Deep inside, you're going through a very difficult time, you know. So you just have to be there for you. You have to encourage yourself. You have to live with positive vibes, as you've said, and put God first in everything, you know. I mean, He has brought you from way too far to leave you here, to live in the desert, you know. And as there's a time, or rather, there's some words that I always tell. You know what? God's grace, you know. I mean, God's will never take you where His grace will not sustain you. Like if He has brought you here, trust me, His grace will always sustain you. If he has taken you to the hospital, trust me, His grace will be there to make sure that the bill has been cleared and your medications has been catered for, and so on and so forth. So that was it from on our end. It's the L factor, and it is our hope and prayer that you guys have learned a lot. After this video, we're going to download this video and upload it on our YouTube channel. I'm also going to pin the YouTube channel right after this, and please subscribe and also like the Facebook page, and we hope that you have learned quite a lot. We hope that the conversation will keep going. We hope that the awareness, because awareness starts with you and I, you know. If we don't talk about it, then no one else will. Yeah. So thank you so much, Elsie. God bless you so much. Thank you for sharing your story. And just know that I love you so much. As a supporter, I love you so much. And we'll continue walking in this, through this. We'll continue fighting together. I won't say I feel your pain. I always tell people that I won't tell you that I feel your pain, yet I'm not in your shoe. You know, I won't tell you that I feel your pain or I feel everything that you're going through, yet I'm not in your shoe. I'll be lying to you. So the best I can do is just be there. The best I can do is just hold your hand and just tell you that everything is going to be okay. That's the best that I can do. Amen? Amen. So thank you so much, guys. Tune in next Tuesday for yet another inspiring story. If you have any questions, please leave them on the comment section, and we'll definitely and be rest assured that we'll answer according to, with the knowledge, the best knowledge that we have. And if there are any questions that are so technical, we'll definitely seek the guidance of a rheumatologist or a doctor as well. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in, and God bless you. It's a wrap here now. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.